Howdy guys, it's been a while since we started off a video in the barn, so I thought I'd do that today. Obviously the cows are outside, we've got the barn bedded for tonight. I kind of want to show you guys how Cinnamon, our one calf that we have right now, we'd like to have a group of 3, but right now we only have the one. So she's on to hay and grain and water. She still does get milk in the morning, but she's practically weaned off. I think sometime next week we're gonna have her horns done. I think I told you guys she was polled when she was born. She's not. It just took like weeks and weeks for her horns to come in. You would have sworn that she was polled, but she's not, unfortunately. So we do have to take those off, but she's doing really well. She's not going to be in this pen for much longer. I'll kind of show you guys how we go about moving our calves, like when they're born and then they get onto milk well, and then what we do with them when they're heifers, and then until they're breeding size. It's definitely not an ideal system that we have. It really isn't a barn that's meant for raising calves, but this is the pen that we'll put them in when they're about a week and a half old. They'll come down here. We can fit 5 or 6 in here really easy. Not her size, just 5 or 6 that are up to weaning age. She is past weaning age. I just have been feeding her longer because we have plenty of milk and she's the only calf we have, and I feel really bad weaning them off. So she's still getting it once a day, but she's definitely past weaning age. I think she's got to be over 12 weeks, and usually we wean them at 10 completely. So I'm babying her a little bit, but anyway. So they come down there after they've gotten a good start, but for the first week and a half to 2 weeks, we will keep them in cages like this right here, just to make sure that they're not with other calves and they kind of have their own area to get acclimated to everything and just start off really well. The reason we don't like to keep them with other calves when they're that age is they're really bad about sucking on each other or just stepping on each other in general. Once they get to be about her age and they get on being fed by a bottle, they typically don't bother sucking on each other. You're always going to have that one that decides they're going to do that. But we do like to keep them separate when they're this age. So we do have a new baby that was born last night or 2 nights ago. I don't really remember. It is a bull. It's a Jersey Hereford cross, and he's doing well. Somebody's coming to get him in a couple days. He's got a very bulbous little head. He said, geez, I don't walk up to you and start making fun of you. So once they're past the small cage phase, which like I said is about a week to a week and a half, just long enough for them to establish that the milk comes from you and not from the other calves, we will move them down to where Cinnamon is, and they'll stay there. I think I said that we wean them at 8 weeks. That's what it's recommended that you wean them at. We actually go a little bit longer, and we generally wean them at 10 weeks. By that time, they typically wean themselves because we offer hay and grain at around 6 weeks old, and water, of course. So they got about 6 weeks to get used to that before they're weaned, and they're well onto it, and they're not really dependent on milk anymore. After that amount of time, we'll give them an extra 2 weeks down there probably, and then we'll move them over here to this pen that we had our heifers in a while ago, which we still haven't cleaned out since they've been gone. It's been really hectic around here, and we just haven't gotten a chance, so I apologize for that. It's still a mess. And they will stay in there until they're about 5 to 6 months old, and then we will move them over to our heifer barn, which is about a mile down the road. And they'll stay there until they're breeding size, and then we'll bring them back here, and we'll mix them right in with the cows. So they'll come in the barn, they'll get hooked up just like a milk cow. So that's always been the way we've done it. Of course, we haven't raised cows. We've raised a few here and there over the years. Probably been almost 10 years since we've actually raised heifers like we are now, having a group and then another group and then another group. Before, it was so easy to find replacement cows and cheaper than raising them, so that's what we did. The market's changed and you've got to start raising your own cows again. So like I said, it's not ideal, but it works for us. So you've probably noticed that the weather is not cooperating again. It's raining. It's supposed to be like this. It's Thursday right now. I think it's supposed to be like this into next week. It's just supposed to be cloudy and drizzly and cold. It's only like 42 degrees right now, so you can see your breath. My hand is actually freezing as I'm holding the camera. But we've got a lot of inside jobs that we can do. We've got a lot of things planned. So one of the things that we have to do is the cows are trying to tear the barn down. So last night, I think it was, a couple of cows got into it and they completely broke this pole off, just snapped it like a twig. So we're going to get a new one of those today. We're going to take that out and replace it. Thank goodness it wasn't one of the ones that has a water bowl on it, because that's a lot more involved. You got to drill out holes that the bolt can slide through, put the facing on. Obviously got to take the whole thing off, and it's just a pain in the butt. So we got lucky in a way that it was one of these, but we really don't have any problems with the wood. We used to have metal stalls, like everybody has metal stalls, but we went with wood. I think it'll be 8 years this September that we put in these stalls here. So these are hemlock, and we've had really good luck with them. They break every once in a while, but really it's much better than we thought it would be. We were kind of concerned because, I mean, wood, obviously the cows can just break it very easily, but we've had less problems with this than we did with the metal stalls. The metal stalls, the water line that went across the front of them was actually also their neck rail, which is a bad design anyway, but they used to break that all the time, and then the barn would flood, and it was a horrible mess. The loops would break off the cement, and all the time just fixing things, so we got away from that. Mainly because it was annoying, but also because replacing them would have been very expensive. I think it would have been like $15,000 to replace this whole barn, $15,000 to $20,000. And what we did with all the wood, this was years ago, of course, but it only ended up being like $1,000 plus the hardware and stuff. So a fraction of the price, and it's lasted almost 10 years already, and it's definitely going to last another 10. My mother is actually the one that built all this. She's like an amazing carpenter, so she did everything in here. She did a really good job designing everything. And it works perfectly. It was basically just me and her and Brent that took everything out and put everything in. It works. A few things that we're gonna look at on the skid steer that I'm really excited to show you guys. So Brent is coming right out, but I'll explain to you guys first what we have been working on the skid steer. So it has been leaking hydraulic oil a lot worse than it was before. That's just a really expensive thing to have to go through a 5-gallon pail every couple months. They're $100 now, easy for stuff that's not that good. So we took a look at that yesterday. What we did was, it was really difficult. We took the pan off the bottom of it. You can see right there where it's leaking. So there's a pan with 6 bolts on it, and we just took those bolts off, which was fun because you had to lay underneath it, or as far underneath it as you could, and get that off. That pan just kind of dropped down, and then we drove off in it. Cleaned everything out from the bottom of it. It was very dirty, so it looks much better now that it's all clean. Got that all done. We lifted up this hood so we could get in there, and we think we figured out what the problem was. So a lot of the fittings, like this one right here, this one is actually the problem one right here. We thought it was something back farther, but the reason that it leaks back farther is because it leaks down onto that pan, and then it like drips down to the middle and pools there to a spot where it leaks through. So that was kind of confusing us as to where to look. That one right there, when you turn it on, it just basically like squirts it out. So we think maybe the gasket is gone in it, so we're going to take that out today and get a new gasket for it, put that back in, and see if that fixes the problem. There was also some fittings on the bottom that you couldn't have gotten to without taking that pan off that were completely loose. And I mean, like, you could have taken them out with your hand, so we tightened those up, and those stopped leaking. I don't think those were a big part of the problem. I think this front one right here is most of the problem. So if we get that one fixed and it's not leaking anymore, it's already leaking a lot less, just tightening up those other ones. So it may not actually be the motor. That's what we were kind of concerned about. I mean, it's 20 years old, so we thought maybe just the motor was finally leaking in it. But I don't think that's the case, but we'll get that fixed and see if that straightens things out. We do have to go across to the shop and grab some wrenches before we can work on that. Kind of a bummer because we've gotten everything ready to go. We've got fuel delivered yesterday, so we'll be good to go there for a while. But just no good weather. So I think we're going to take from the inch up. We're not going to need that 1 3/8. It's not that big, but we'll grab up to the 1 1/4. The Kubota still isn't fixed the correct way. They did call us back from the parts place, and they have one that they can ship to them. They don't actually have it in stock, but they are getting it shipped in. So I don't know, probably sometime next week we'll get that in and we'll put that on, which is good because we don't like driving it the way it is right now. It's just kind of pieced together. To go over and show you. Yeah, he's got, I don't think it's even a washer. I don't know what that is. Underneath it, just to kind of space it out a little bit, and then a pin in it, but it's definitely not very good. So we'll get that new piece on there. We got it all cleaned up. What? Oh, I was just showing him that.
I'm gonna drive this outside, then I can see better.
Okay. Turn it on again. I want to see how much it's leaking.
Oh yeah. steady drip.
Yep, for the first couple seconds it's just a drip, and then it's a steady stream after that. So I think it's 1.25 inches, but
That one is. I know. I don't know about that one. Yeah, that is too.
it just can't be any easy way to work on a skid steer.
That one comes off easy. That's just a hose. Just. And then this one.
Smaller?
No.
No? So it must just be all the vibration from the machine that causes them to loosen up like that?
Yeah.
I guess it'd be a good idea to get under it every couple years and... Well, I don't know how much longer this one's gonna last. It's got 5,100 hours. What's the matter?
See, maybe it just needed another turn on it, but I don't think so. I don't know. Yeah, see?
Yep, you got it. Man, you might have just saved yourself a lot of money.
That was it. It's pretty good.
That is pretty good.
I don't know why that would be. Wow, that's hard feeling.
Well,
okay.
20-year-old gasket. See, this is just the puddle. It was sitting here for what, 20 minutes?
Yeah.
So you can stop it from doing that.
We might want to pick up another 5 gallons.
Yeah, probably. So yeah, that just needs a gasket right there, and
What we ought to do sometime
should
is
be good.
pull that belly pan again and have me watch them run.
Yeah,
And
like you said, if that's what's wrong with this one, if that fixes that, and those ones leak, just take them off, do the same thing.
really.
So we're gonna go pick that up in the 4x4, and then we'll get back here and get everything in.
That's gotta turn. Don't turn that
So
big nut.
just turn the whole thing.
Yeah.
That's your new ring there.
Yep.
Okay.
I can't make that.
Wow, that's slippery.
Mm.
Is there oil on that? Okay.
Get that thing in there. Can you?
I'll see a little thing.
It's gotta.
Oh, I think I got it. I got it.
Okay, turn away in. Turn that nut backwards as far as it'll go. Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, now. Keep going around.
That's as much as I can go by hand.
Yeah, you don't turn your.
Try not to, but it's hard. Not to get on it.
There you go.
Yeah, but
Want the vice grips? Are they in the barn here?
I can't get any farther than that with the wrench, so.
Let me get you the vice grips.
Hope this fixes it.
Make sure you turn that nut way back as far as it'll go. There, now turn the thing. Keep on going. Because enough.
I'll start putting that other 5 gallons in it.
Yeah, it's good.
I forgot I picked up minerals too, so I have to load those. We always just put them right along this wall here. But these are the minerals that we feed them. It's a lactating mineral. We feed these every day.
I'm gonna start it.
Okay, hold on, I want to see.
Okay. Okay. Let's see if it's gonna work. Yep.
Hey.
Pretty good.
Good. Or you want to come hold this funnel for me after I get the rest of the minerals?
Yep.
Hold on.
What?
Oh, it's a piece of hay. I don't want to go in there. It is.
What?
Slow down because it's getting to that line.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Whoa.
That's it right there.
Hasn't seen that for a long time.
Alright, so you want this in the manure pump?
Yeah, put it all.
What do you think?
You think when I tightened the other one, did that stop it some?
Seemed like it.
You know, I want to keep that paper for the O-rings. Keep that O-ring seems to be the one that works, so.
Yeah, so.
If,
I know it takes a minute, but right now there's nothing. So.
well, maybe we got it.
Maybe that was it. It was leaking a lot. Like I said, when it, for a minute, it was just dripping, but then the longer it ran, it was a steady stream.
Yeah, we'll see what it looks like.
So Brent just went to town to get a 4x4. Hopefully that skid steer is all fixed. It doesn't seem to be leaking now. We'll find out in time. If that really is all it was super lucky. So what I'm going to be doing is I got to take all the screws out of this so we can get that out of there. I think there's just, well, this might be a problem. But I think there's one on each side, so 3 down there. Might be a couple right here. There's at least 1 right there, and then 4 up at the top. So we'll start right here, I guess. Maybe there's not any attached there, but Like, is this board hooking it in? Because I can't see any screws on the outside of that. Or is it just toe-nailed in underneath that?
Underneath, I think.
So if I just pull it?
Yeah.
Here.
That way, towards the road.
Here's another screw. The rest of them are over there in the window, so.
There you go. Ooh.
Were those things holding it? Oh, there was one going through it. We just gotta get that one off now. Well, that's one way to do it. Got our board. And that's how the redneck farmers do it. We also did get the hub back for the planter. We just got to put that on. It looks perfect. I'll show it to you guys real quick before we head back out to help Brent. We were going to put it on. This one ought to work. We were going to put it on the other day. We just really didn't have time, and since it's been raining and it's going to rain all week, it's not really a huge hurry. We just got to lift it up and put that on. But he did a great job fixing it, so that's what it looks like, and he put new bearings in it. He did a good job. So now we just got to get her back on there. Try it out. I can't wait. Can I do it? Can I do it?
Yeah. Good. Oh, we cut that just right.
Yeah, I can do it again. A little ways to go.
Yeah. Oh, perfect. Oh yeah. All kinds of them.
So you're gonna have to do the top ones because you're taller.
Mm-hmm. Just like that, back in business.
Boom.
Stuck her in there. Yeah.
So hold that line up. That stuff is hard.
Okay. Put one in the front.
Wow, I think maybe your bit is.
Yeah, put one in the front for the heck of it.
Your bit is
Hey.
stripped. He was supposed to be the cameraman. You stand there pointing at his feet. We got most everything finished that we wanted to get done today. Not everything, but you guys know how that goes. It's about 3:30 right now, so just before milk time. We're just about to get the girls in. So I'm gonna go bug them for a minute because I wanted to show you guys the feeder that our welder was working on the last video and the things that we did to kind of retrofit that. All right. See the bull, but he's way over there. So this is what it looks like. We've got the sides welded together now. He just put I think a weld at the top and in the middle and at the bottom. Hello, Greta. And it looks really good. He does an amazing job welding. So we've got the sides welded together, and then he put this bar right in the middle, and he welded a hook in the middle so Brenton could just come up to it with a skid steer, pick it up, move it wherever he wants to. It is just so much nicer than it was before, so I did want to show you guys that. They've made a pretty terrible mess of the pad already, but such is life on a dairy farm. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope your weather is nicer than ours is. At least it's better than Texas. I feel really bad for everybody in Texas because I think they got like 20-something inches of rain in one storm, or I don't know if it was one storm, but I heard that they got 20-something inches of rain and it was just massive flooding. So heart goes out to them because that is just a terrible thing to have to deal with. The farthest I've been is Virginia, and there they don't have good like drainage at all. So if it's the same there, it must really be awful to try to deal with that when they don't really have that great of drainage anyway, because I don't think it rains that much in Texas as a rule. But yeah, so we've been lucky. It is going to help the grass a lot. It's just hard to get anything else done. Thank you guys so much for your support. You guys have just been really great and really exceeded my expectations for this channel. I just started it because I thought it would be fun to share these kind of things with everybody, and it's just been way more than I imagined it could be. So thank you guys from the bottom of my heart. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day, whatever it is for you while you're watching this, and keep it real, keep farming, and I'll see you in the next video.